What's going on, guys? My name is KarQ. If you're new here, this is the One Tip series, my flagship series back in Overwatch, but now we have it here for Marvel Rivals, and today we have a Captain America one above all player who happens to be my favorite dish.
Hi, my name is JapaneseCurry. I'm a YouTuber who one-tricked Captain America to top 500.
As always, we begin these with a general tip first.
A general tip is to learn how to animation cancel the shield throw charges for increased DPS and to help you stay close to an enemy. To do this, you must have 4 shield throws ready after first 2 attacks. Then after every shield throw, cancel the downtime with sprint, throw shield, sprint, repeat. Doing it too fast will cause your shield throws to not do any damage and be wasted. And doing it too slow will result in a damage loss. This will also work with the toggle sprint setting on, but instead of pressing your sprint key, you'll want to press W or forward on your analog stick instead. I personally use hold to sprint, but it's all up to you, whatever you prefer.
JapaneseCurry has also graded each hero as low, medium, or high priority targets to focus because Captain America gets pretty poor value if you waste your time on bad targets. I've color coded them and put them in the graphic above for you to quickly reference this video as needed on your Captain America journey. Let's begin.
For the Captain America mirror matchup, I often choose to ignore him because my presence is best used against the enemy backline. However, if I'm not there and I happen to see their cap slam my team, I look to counter slam and peel for my team. The mirror is a medium priority. If Strange ults, your highest priority is to use your freedom charge and give your team HP, which usually lets them survive his follow-up Maelstrom of Madness. Make sure to use your shield to block it for yourself and shield the teammate as well, where you can. Strange is a low priority unless he ults. For GROOT, Cap can easily sprint jump over his walls when needed, and it can also generate shield throw charges if you hit it twice. His ult and Spore Bomb can be deflected by Cap's shield block, and GROOT is a low priority. Just like the Cap mirror, I like to slam Hulk when he dives in and deflect his thunderclap and lockdown projectile from a teammate. Other than that, I don't spend too much time fighting him because you should be in their backline. Hulk is a low priority. Against Magneto, I try slamming behind him when he puts his shield up to damage him with shield throws. His ult can also be deflected, and most Magnetos look to ult squishy, so use your dash to quickly get to them. Magneto is a low priority. PENI is the biggest counter to Cap. Legit, the best tip is to try to stay away from her as much as needed until her spider nest is gone. That's your team's job, don't waste your time on it. You can block her cyber web snare, but it doesn't deflect back. Not sure if it's intended. PENI is a low priority. You want to avoid 1v1ing THOR, so if he's chasing you, just sprint around and jump over him. When he ults, you want to hold your shield to block it and protect a teammate behind you as well. THOR is a low priority. For VENOM, it's the same as most of the tank matchups. You avoid 1v1ing him and just peel for your team if he dives in and block his ult with your shield. VENOM is a low priority. You can't really do much against Panther since he's insanely mobile. Sometimes I'll use freedom charge for my team if Panther is really problematic and slam his spinning kick to mess up his combo. One extra tip to note is that you can't block his ultimate as it will still deal damage and mark you, and hit your shield for 150. So if you see it, try using Liberty Rush to get out of the way. Panther is a low priority. Widow is a free target you should prioritize if you see. If she kicks you away while your shield is up, she can't follow up with the second kick. Widow is a high priority. Hawkeye you want to treat the same as Widow. If he slashes you away, use Liberty Rush to close the gap. And if he jumps after, slam down and stay on top of him. If Hawkeye ults and you have after images, put up your shield and they will go away. Hawkeye is a high priority. Against HELA, chase her down with your shield up the entire time, including Liberty Rush to ensure you don't get headshot. You can deflect her ult, but I wouldn't recommend it since you can just run and jump around to avoid it. HELA is a high priority. Iron Fist is a low priority target because he's fast and hard to catch up with, but peeling with slam when he jumps your backline is enough if there's no other targets to go for. Your shield does block all of his attacks, but he eats your shield up pretty fast when he's charged up. Iron Fist is a low priority. Not much you can do against Iron Man since he plays out of your range. If you know he has ult ready, you can opt for a more defensive play with your supports to try to deflect it. Iron Man is a low priority. You can block all of Magik's attacks with your shield except Umbral Incursion for some reason. So if you see her use it on a teammate to engage, you're free to slam and peel for them with your shield up as needed, and she can't do any damage. Magik is a medium priority. Biggest tip against Mr. Fantastic is to put up your shield anytime he's using Distended Grip, because this will break the tether if you're the first selected target. It also prevents you from being the secondary collision target. Mr. Fantastic is a low priority because he has too much HP. Moon Knight can be killed easily if he doesn't have his grapple. Close the gap on him as soon as you can and hold your shield up in his face, and they will likely panic and throw down an unk, which you can deflect. If you hear his ult, immediately Liberty Rush out because you can't block it. Moon Knight is a high priority. NAMOR is a harder character to deal with, since the Luna team-up gives him the slowing Monstro, which can countercap pretty well. NAMOR is playing around it, sprint at him with your shield up, and it can stop the slows and let you close the gap. The ultimate can also be blocked by looking at the center. NAMOR is a high priority. PSYLOCKE is hard to deal with since she can go invisible and has 2 dashes to get away from you, so look to dive her if she happens to come out of invis early before you're in the enemy backline. Since you are a tank, sitting in her Dance of the Butterfly and popping your freedom charge to give your team health is a nice way to split the damage and ensure your squishier teammates don't die. PSYLOCKE is a low priority except for her ult. Scarlet Witch is pretty easy to deal with, as her damage is slow. She will likely use Mystic Projection the moment you get in her face, and at that point, just leave as you did your job at taking her out of the fight for a moment. If she ults, just block it for yourself and anyone behind you. Scarlet Witch is a medium priority target. Spider-Man is too fast to deal with, so similar to the other dive characters, just peel when he zips in with Slam. Spider-Man is a low priority target. Chase Squirrel down with your shield up to deflect her damage and her Squirrel blockade. Her new ultimate tracking is a bit weird now, where if you keep your shield up, it will not chase you. Worst case, you can always just sprint jump over it every time it's nearby. Squirrel Girl is a high priority. Star-Lord is super slippery and is hard to chase if he's managing his movement well. There are a lot of moments where he will run out of fuel and fall to the ground, and you can absolutely use your shield throws to pressure him out and get him out of the fight. When he ults, you want to pop your freedom charge to help your team survive through it. Star-Lord is a low priority except for his ult. You can't really do anything about Storm since she can fly and stay out of your range. Best tip is when she uses her ult, use freedom charge to instantly give everyone 100 HP and 60 HP per second afterwards to help mitigate Storm's 150 DPS. This is good if you don't have a strong healing support ult available. Storm is a low priority except for ult. If Punisher sets up his turret, then try slamming behind him and get him to turn around to shoot you. And if he does, just block it and let your team shoot him in the back. If he ults, you can dive him and deflect his shots right in his face. Punisher is a high priority. Winter Soldier is a hard matchup because his abilities give him so much HP, and his uppercut hits through Cap's shield as well. His ultimate can be blocked as long as you look at the center of the circle, or you can just sprint up over it. Winter Soldier is a medium priority target. Out of all the tanks that can be kidnapped by Wolverine, Captain America actually ends up being the best in terms of surviving. You can block his melee attacks with your shield, and either Liberty Rush or Slam away. Just make sure you play safe if you don't have your shield health up or any cooldowns to go against him. Wolverine is a low priority target. Not much to say about Adam, as he doesn't have any tools to deal with you other than Soul Bond. Either dive him after he uses it or jump on him early. Force it out, then sprint jump away and look for some healing before re-engaging once it's over. Warlock is a high priority target. Cloak and Dagger has no real damage threats or tools to kill you. Stay on them, and if they swap the Cloak, you can shield the Terror Cape and chase the Dark Teleportation with your sprint. Cloak and Dagger is a high priority target. Huge tip against Invisible Woman is that your Vibranium Energy Saw will track her even when she's invisible if you ricochet it off any surface if she's close enough to it. You can randomly just find her if you hear her footsteps, or if you see her double jump, you can throw in the direction of the jump trail and it will hit her. Invisible Woman is a high priority target. Jeff is pretty annoying to deal with since he's slippery and can travel up walls and shrinks his hitbox where you can't really hit him with any of your melees. Best tip against his ult is to either slam away or use your dash to get out. There are actually CC immune frames during Liberty Rush, so in some scenarios you can just time the dash over the ult and still prevent yourself from being eaten. Jeff is a medium priority target. Loki gives Cap a hard time with the regen domain, invisibility, and the clones. If you're on a clone, you should actually commit and kill it for your team anyways to make it harder for him to get value. The moment you notice Loki standing still, it's likely he went invis and dropped the clone in its place. And you want to throw your Vibranium Energy Saw immediately at the clone, and it'll ricochet and hit the real Loki out of stealth as long as he isn't too far away. You have to be quick or else the invisible Loki will be out of range. Loki is a medium priority target. Against Luna, she's a high priority, so you want to slam in and hold shield up immediately because they usually react with absolute zero instantly. Doing this ensures you block it and maybe get lucky and freeze her right back. Luna is a high priority target. The Mantis matchup is similar to the Luna. Either wait out her sleep first, or slam her and immediately hold up shield and chase her, and it makes it nearly impossible for her to sleep you. Mantis is a high priority target. Rocket is the same as dealing with Jeff, where he's slippery and has a tiny hitbox. Your priority as Cap is to actually sprint around and look for his respawn beacon and break that instead. Think of breaking that as the equivalent of getting a kill for your team. Rocket is a medium priority target. Thanks for having me, KarQ. You can find me at JapaneseCurry2 on YouTube or on Twitch at JapaneseCurry.